This is the job description, and I'll start filling up the form. Full name, this is Harshit Tyagi. I'll provide the email as a candidate, phone number with the country code. So let's click on submit application. You can see I've got an email, I've got the mail, and now you can see I am getting a call. Hey, hi.
It sounds like you have a solid foundation in SQL. Now let's switch gears a bit. Can you tell me about a time when you had to work on a data analysis project with a tight deadline?
What if I tell you that I can automate recruitment for your business? How does that work? Every company recruits in a similar fashion. They put out a job description, candidates start applying, then it goes through an application tracking system. And then in the tracking system, it's very sluggish, very slow. You would have to, again, come back, see, conduct interviews, and then ask for people, ask for employees for their time. Can you block some time for this interview? Can you take this interview? You'll have to basically go and just, beg people to take interviews. But with this automation, the voice AI agent is going to call the interviewee, the candidates, and get the entire process automated. So all you have to do, we build the entire system end to end. You put out the job description, people start applying, they get a call, they get screened by AI, and then the AI, if it is shortlisted, the first screening round is also happening all through the phone call right after the candidate applies. Let me show you how this entire system is working. Okay, so let's see how this is working. I have my Recruit Pro application, which is built on Lovable, where recruiters can post new job applications. So this is going to be, spun up for every company that wants to recruit candidates through the platform. So something like Liver or Greenhouse. So I'll click on post new job. I'll add a new job. Let's say the title is data analyst for the department product. The location is Bangalore, India. Employment type full-time, and I have a job description. So I've copied this from ChatGPT, got a data analyst job description ready through large language model. And then I'm going to click on post job. So I'll be able to post a new job here. So you can see data analyst, a new role has been added. And now if I go on to the applicant view, this is the view that the applicants are going to see. So these candidates will be able to figure out, okay, what all roles the company is hiring for. And let's say I am interested in data analyst role. I'll click on apply now. This is the job description, and I'll start filling up the form. Full name, this is Harshit Tyagi. I'll provide the email as a candidate, phone number with the country code, and I'll upload my resume. Great, this is done. I'll click on submit application. Now, as soon as I click on this is basically what is going to start working, my n8n workflow. So this is serving as the backend for this Recruit Pro application that we have built, and that serves like a complete solution. So let's click on submit application. Now, application submitted successfully. I'll go on to executions here. So you can see my workflow is now running. I've got an email. All right. So this email is, congratulations. We are pleased to inform that you have been shortlisted. So this is great. Okay. That means I'm about to get a call as per this workflow. Let's zoom in a little. Before we continue building this automation, just wanted to quickly talk about the school community. If you want to download any of the resources, these templates that we are learning how to build within this masterclass, or any of the templates that I've shared in the previous videos, prompt engineering guides, everything is now part of the school community. It's called AI Builders Collective. This is where I teach you everything to build AI automations and agents, not just n8n, all the other AI automation tools for different sorts of use cases, be it Gumloop, Lindy.ai, Make.com, Lovable to create applications, Replit, Cursor, and many more. Head over to school to get this template all for free. So this is the route we are taking. this particular route is for candidates who have not been shortlisted. So sending mail to the candidate who are shortlisted. So I've got the mail, and now you can see I am getting a call. So let's have this conversation with our agent, which is basically calling us through Elevenlabs. Hey, hi.
It sounds like you have a solid foundation in Squell. Now let's switch gears a bit. Can you tell me about a time when you had to work on a data analysis project with a tight deadline? How did you prioritize tasks and ensure that you delivered accurate results?
Yeah, so whenever there's a strict deadline, I try to see which projects are high priority, which are going to be high ROI for the business. And I discuss it with my managers, other stakeholders.
Okay, that's a very structured approach. Thanks for sharing. Now, can you describe your experience with data visualization tools such as Tableau or Power BI or even Excel charts?
And now the wait period, as you can see, the wait period is currently on, and soon this is going to go into the call transcript node. So I'll move on to the editor interface here, and let's look at it node by node. So here, the workflow starts with a webhook. So I've added a webhook, and this is the post URL, which you would need when you are configuring your applications. So you might want to build the application in Lovable or in some other platform. I built this entire system starting with a form where I would just capture the resume, and the job description was just, hard coded in the system itself. But when I moved to the production use case, that's when I turned it into a webhook. And this is a post, this is going to accept a post request, and it's going to respond immediately. And this is what you're getting from my Lovable application. So here, all of these ID, title, department, location, this is what we are getting in the body. So complete job description, and then there is this base 64 encoded resume. So we first need to get the resume content. I uploaded a PDF. That PDF was turned into a base 64 string, and that base 64 string needs to be turned into text so that the large language model can understand what's present in this data, in this resume. So I've got this convert to file node after that. In this convert to file, I am using the operation move base 64 string to file. And this base 64 input field is nothing but this particular value, the content that I have. So you just simply drag and drop here, and the name of this field is captured correctly. And the output field name you can pass as data, and this is the output here. So I can download this file, the PDF would get downloaded. But we needed the file. And from the file, I can then extract the content. So you can see I'm using the extract from file node, extract from PDF, input binary field name is data. And I got the entire text of the resume from this extract from file node. Great. So we have now job description, which is coming through the webhook, and the resume content. That's what you need to evaluate the candidate. And if you want more fields in your job application form, you can fetch all of those and pass it on to the large language model. Now, let's look at the configuration of this large language model. So I'm using OpenAI GPT 4.1 mini. It's good enough to evaluate candidates, evaluate resumes against job description. If you want to use 4.1 or O3, you can do that as well. That would have more reasoning capability. So the scores and the prompt adherence would be better. I have got the user prompt. First of all, I'll walk you through the system prompt that we have built. Okay, so prompting again is a critical part. You're a fully automated application tracking system designed to screen and evaluate candidates for specific job roles. Your tasks are as follows. You will receive the job description and the candidate's resume. Check the requirements for the role from the job description. That's the second task. And then perform a comprehensive ADS style screening of the candidate's resume against the requirements. For each of the following categories, assess degree of match, experience, skills, projects, and education. I've given weightage to each one of these criteria. And then for each category, consider relevance and depth of experience to the job description, match between listed skills and required skills, quality and alignment of completed projects, and then appropriateness of educational background. So all of these together would basically give us a score, some reasoning, and in the user prompt, I have passed on resume to be evaluated. So this is coming from the extract from file, text node, drag and drop, JD to be evaluated against. I've added the JD, the job details from the webhook request that we have got. So in the body, I've already got this description, and this is the field that I'm using here, simply dragging and dropping. And then if the rating is above 7.5, I'm adding. So I want a JSON output so that it becomes easier for us to use it as a variable for the subsequent nodes. I've got the rating, I've got the reasoning, why you have scored at 7.5, 8.5, 5, 4, whatever the score is, and then the screening. So for screening field, I have added this line in the prompt. If the score is 7.5 and above, then the screening would say yes, otherwise it would say no. So this is something that I would use later on, the screening field. Okay, so as soon as this part is done, the LLM would evaluate the entire profile, will give us a score, and everything gets written into this Google Sheet database. You could use your CRM, you could use Airtable, wherever you want to, track all of your applications, or in your Superbase database. So you can configure this node as per your requirements, as per the tools that you're using. In my case, I'm using Google Sheets. So here I have got everything. My name, email, phone number, job role, resume, fit score, and then the screening result. The screening result is basically the complete reasoning that we have got, and the fit score is 8.5 in this case. So this returns the output in this JSON format. So you can see I have output content as JSON turned on. By default, this is going to be off. So make sure that you turn this on. Great. So this is the prompt. So evaluation, the initial screening happens here, and then data gets stored here. If I run this here in this particular case, and you go on to switch, in the switch node, I have captured the score coming from OpenAI. So I've got the rating. So this is the rating field in both of these different rules. If it is greater than or equal to 7.5, rename the output. It's called shortlisted for screening call. So if I execute this step, basically this 8.5, I'll get two different routes activated, and you can see not shortlisted is empty. Shortlisted for screening, this has got the data because this route has now become active for us. So if the user would have gotten lesser than 7.5 score, then in that case, this would become active, and this is the prompt here. So we'll simply just write an email with the reasoning and the scores and everything, and the email generated by the large language model. So we'll send the email to this candidate. So we're using the Gmail node, and the email is already fetched from the webhook, the request that we've got. And then coming back to the shortlisted flow, this is again going to draft an email in the same way. Here I have provided candidate name, and the name is coming from again. So you would simply go into the webhook request that you've got, fetch the name, the role that I applied to. This is the title of the role, about the candidate. So here the complete screening result. Okay. About the candidate that, we have been shortlisted, and then company name, email is basically the company that is hiring. To sign off all of those things. And then in the system prompt, to write this email, write a professional and warm HTML email to a candidate informing them that they have been shortlisted for a screening round of call. Okay, the email should include a polite greeting, addressing, and all of these things. Congratulate them, briefly mention, okay, all these things, and then output structure. I want a JSON outside of this. So let's execute this step to get the email out. Here again, we are using 4.1 mini. So you can see subject, email body will fetch everything from here, go to our Gmail node, and here the resources message operation is we want to send this message to whom. The email is captured from, again, webhook request has got everything that we want to leverage. Subject, email type is HTML. We have specifically asked large language model 4.1 mini to write an HTML email. And in the body, the email body that we have generated using this LLM. So email body is captured here, subject is captured here, the email is captured from the webhook request. That's it. You execute this step and you get the email. All right. So there we go. I have got an email which is formatted and is generated. It's an HTML format. And by the way, we've got the results now. So congratulations. I've got the congratulations email because my interview, my screening round went well. So this is pretty cool. Coming back to our flow. And after this, once the email has been sent and everything, we wait for some time, 1 minute, so that the candidate receives the email. And we know that when the candidate has applied, they're already active. So that's the best time that you give them a screening call right away without wasting any time. So call initiation. This is where most of the work is happening. So let's look into call initiating. So obviously I'm using Elevenlabs here. Elevenlabs through Twilio and outbound call. So let's look into Elevenlabs, what the configuration is. So when you go on to Elevenlabs, there's this conversational AI feature that they have. Within this, I'm currently on dashboard. We have prepared a step-by-step guide to help you configure Elevenlabs, n8n, and Twilio. So this contains all the steps, all the instructions, commands, along with screenshots that will help you set up your entire workflow. You'll get all of this in the school community along with the JSON for the n8n workflow. Go to agents, click on new agents, and here you need to specify what your agent is going to do. So give it a name. I've given it data analyst recruiter. So if you see, this is my data analyst recruiter here, and there's a phone number attached with this agent as well. So we start specifying how this agent is going to behave. And this is the Elevenlabs agent would take care of all the calling, how the conversation is going to go, everything. This is where the crux of that conversation is. So agent language is English. Additional languages, we have not added any. First message, hello, this is Alex from Agent Device. So you can specify how the agent is going to greet. You can shorten it if you want. Then the system prompt. System prompt is where everything is happening. So you are Alex, a professional AI interview voice agent for so-and-so company. You're friendly, attentive, insightful with a background in HR and technical recruitment. Your role is to conduct structured, fair, and insightful screening interviews for job title, position, etc., etc. Then the context. You're speaking with candidates via phone for a first round screening interview. Candidates may feel excited, a bit nervous. So then we have given the interview structure, technical assessment, 5-6 questions, behavioral assessment, 3-4 questions, company information, closing, tone, communication style, guardrails, instructions for document use. Now this is where things get interesting. Now I would need to provide some specific questions that I want to ask from previously asked questions. So there's going to be like a knowledge base that all of these companies have, that we want to ask questions that we have asked previously. So this is where you can actually go on to select the large language model that you want. So here currently it is like 2.0 Flash, but you can choose that, okay, I want to use 4.1. You can save the settings. Whenever you're going to change anything, you just make sure that you're saving that as well. The temperature, if you want to make the agent follow the script, follow the prompt to the T, then you reduce the temperature, that deterministic system. The agent is going to behave in a certain way. If you increase the temperature, it's going to become like more creative. It'll be more autonomous in nature. So you might not want to make the temperature too high. Okay. Agent knowledge base. This is where everything is provided as context. So this is becoming a RAG agent for us. So retrieval augmented generation. This increases agents maximum knowledge base size. So the agent will have access to relevant pieces of attached knowledge base during the answer generation. So company details, we have provided all the details, what is going to be valuable for the company, what kind of products we deal with, what kind of projects are going to be interesting for us to look into. Then we have complete list of behavioral questions, some data analyst questions, and you can have this for like multiple different applications if you are dealing with like a lot of different types of roles. Recently, they've added MCP servers. I've not tried this. I'm going to be playing around with MCP servers. If, for example, I want after the conversation something to be added into my Notion, into my Google Sheet directly from Elevenlabs, I think that is now possible directly from MCP servers. Great. So NGOL, we have turned on. Detect language, we have turned this on as well. Skip turn, we have turned this on. Agent will skip its turn if user explicitly indicate they need a moment. Okay, great. So this is done. Now this agent also needs a phone number. So for phone numbers, we have got a bunch of phone numbers added through our Twilio account. So you come on to the Twilio dashboard. This is going to be giving you a sandbox account, which is free of cost. And it'll give you the account SID, the authentication token, and there's this Twilio phone number that you're going to get. And this phone number needs to be imported within Elevenlabs. So import number and then click on from Twilio, and this will have your Twilio number attached and connected with your Elevenlabs. So the outbound calls that your agent is going to make is going to use this particular number. And then the agent will be able, so in this particular case, data analyst recruiter has been assigned to another number that we are using. So once that is connected, then your voice agent will start working. One other thing that you have to keep in mind in the advanced settings, so the turn timeout, you might want to keep it to 3 seconds. So this is basically the maximum number of seconds since the user last spoke. So how quickly you want the agent to come back to. Do you want the wait time to be longer between turns, or should it be like smaller to make it more like flowing conversation? So maximum conversation duration, this is currently set at 300 seconds. That is 5 minutes. You might want to increase it to 30 minutes. So just make sure that you make all of these changes. Currently, I'm just testing the system out. So this is like my configuration. Then we have not changed anything else. So this is the complete agent, and this agent is now set up over here. So the API call, this is all present in Elevenlabs documentation. So elevenlabs.io docs, and here if you go into the documentation, so the one that we are using is the outbound call via Twilio. So we are using Elevenlabs as the agent and Twilio as the phone number. So the endpoint that we want to use is outbound call via Twilio. So this is the link. I'll put it in the description and in the notes as well. So this curl request is what you have to use. You can click on import curl, copy paste this. So the URL is this. And within your headers, so I'm using authentication openly currently, but you can, the recommended way of adding the credential, first you predefine the credential and then, add the API key. I'm going to remove all of these things. If you want to add your API key, this API key you're going to get from your Elevenlabs account. So this is where my API key is. This is a post request. So in this case, the JSON, the body of this request that is going to trigger the call from Elevenlabs via Twilio is, I need to specify the agent phone number ID. This agent phone number ID is this ID that you see over here. So this is the agent ID, and this agent is using currently my Ulens, this particular phone number. Basically, if you see G3, this has been captured from one of the phone numbers. If I click over here, this is the phone number ID that I need to provide through which the call is going to happen. So this is the Twilio phone ID. Then to whom do we want to call? So this is the user's, the candidate's phone number, that who has basically added the phone number here in the webhook request. So we'll fetch that, and then agent ID. This agent ID is the data analyst recruiter agent ID, which is this one. So these are the three things that you need in order to initiate the call from ElevenLabs via Twilio. So Twilio is giving the phone number, ElevenLabs is setting up the voice agent for you. And then once the conversation happens, we wait for the conversation to happen 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. You add a wait there. Then this is another endpoint to fetch the transcript. So once the conversation has happened, you are again going to go here and then you're going to check for get conversation details. So this is another endpoint that you are going to be using. So V1 convey conversation. So this is the endpoint V1 convey conversation, and then you have to specify the conversation ID. So the conversation ID is going to be returned by the call itself. So this will be added to you from the previous node, and then you have to authenticate yourself with the ElevenLabs API key. This is done. And from here, what we are doing is simply fetching the transcript. This is going to give you the complete transcript. From the transcript, we are basically generating. So this code, I used AI. I wanted the entire transcript to be broken down. So if you see in the execution over here, let's look at so this is the code execution here, and you can see my transcript. This is like complete transcript that I'm getting. Transcript, there are like 3 items, transcript 0, transcript 1. It is like broken down into chunks. I first of all fetch all the complete transcript, and then that transcript is broken down into what did the interviewer ask and what did the interviewee say. What was the interviewee's answer? So then the response basically looks something like this. This is the complete transcript broken down by interviewer, and then what was the what did the interviewee say? And this transcript then goes into the agent. Agent evaluates again. Let's look at this agent's system prompt. This is again very interesting. So you are an AI recruitment assistant for AgentWise. Your task is to review the provided interview summary and transcript, determine if the candidate should be shortlisted for the next round. And then we have given a deterministic, like complete logic, decision logic. If the candidate is not shortlisted, what you should do. There we have given some tools, as in like HTML, the Gmail node. What sort of email needs to be sent if the candidate is not shortlisted. If they're shortlisted, then we need to set up the second round. So we'll send like a Google Calendar along with an email and everything. So these are all the details, and you can further add like multiple steps, send an update on Slack, inform the team that there's a candidate that we need to interview, include a human in the loop, and all those things. So an entire this is like complete recruitment setup that saves a lot of time for companies to screen candidates and only do round 2, round 3 with qualified candidates. That saves a lot of time for all of these businesses, for all of these companies. So hope you guys enjoyed it. You guys loved this application. And yeah, I would love to see what you guys build with voice agents. We have like multiple other things working on, real estate voice agent. Then we have travel itinerary planner that sends you complete itinerary. Once that is ready, I'll try to record those as well and share it in the community. So make sure you're part of the community. Everything gets shared there. And yeah, I'll see you there. I'm spending most of my time interacting with new automation engineers and app developers, leveraging different types of AI tools. Cool. I'll see you guys in the next one.